Back live in the den with Mr. Miami, Wylie K, with my co-pilot, Big Happy, 650 pounds, 35 00. Where they at? There they go.
Yeah.
Wings World, we back in the den.
55 points in the rec game.
So throughout your illustrious promoter career, especially the DMV takeover career, you constantly been changing the game. You did something about a year or two ago. I'm not sure the exact date, but that kind of was different to the culture. Talk about the art basin.
Like you say, man, I'm always trying to reinvent, do something different, not be the same, stay in my lane, and be a trendsetter. So I came up with the concept of Art Basel, Coachella, but all around go-go. You know what I mean? Because what I feel is though, me personally, like I told you, I'm go-go, born and raised, I love it. But I always felt as though we're not where we need to be with it and where we should have been with it. So what can I do now to kind of not only preserve it, but get it out there? Kind of like what Monica's doing now, you know what I mean? Definitely trying to do something different, put us in different spaces. So going to do Coachella and Art Basel, you know, Art Basel's in Miami and then Coachella is in California, but it's always in a nice outdoor spot. So I said, let me get the beach. That's why I went to go get Virginia Key Beach, the Black Beach. But you had to build it out. You know, had to have the right bands. You know, I wanted to have a club effect. I wanted to have the cabanas and the drapes. And then I also included artists. We had DeMont come down. We had one of the influential artists in Miami, and he came in and they built these cubes. And the cubes, while the bands were playing, they were painting on the cubes. And it turned out really, really well because the city came out and was like, wow. You know what I mean? Like, first of all, they never heard the music. They hadn't heard the music, and then they started putting the art into it. And then we had the vendors. We had the we had the vendors, and we had the we had vendors, food, art, bands, and beach. You can't beat that.
And then you did something up at so for the record, it's only been 3 black companies in DC or in history of the anthem to get the anthem. Tricky Inc., Wylie K and Friends, and Endless Dreams.
Kenny.
What made you do the skating thing in the anthem?
Take it with you.
Well, again, it's when you try to change the game, you meet new people. So say for example, you know, last year I did the art of go-go, but I did it with the skate and Miami Takeover. So in doing that,
How'd that skate go?
it was nice, man. We did a live. It's on the page, man. I had a live stream.
He did an anthem. He did an anthem.
So it turned out really good. So what happened? Let me tell you a story. So
With Tony.
So what happened was when I did the go-go skate joint in Miami, I began to get into the skate world. So in doing that, I found out that some of the people that were helping me promote, and actually the guys that did my live stream in Miami, they were like, hey, you need to get in with folks over there doing it. And I got in with them, and they already had things moving. But from, like you said, the promotional end, it just made sense for us to kind of help them, help us. And they've been doing the skate joint for a minute, but the anthem, to turn it over to a skate rink, it took a lot. You know what I mean? From a liability perspective, from all of what you had to do to make that happen.
Concrete floors in there.
Yeah, they had some perfect floors for skating, you know what I mean? Perfect. But from bringing in Tony, making it a party and skating, you know, the concert. It was more of a concert.
You gave them something you gave them something they never seen.
But the city liked it too as well.
Yeah.
The city gets behind certain things, and that's one thing that they definitely got behind.
And it depends on who gives it.
Yeah.
If Sledge go give us skate party at the anthem, it's garbage. Right? So it all depends on who gives it. So that's cool that's cool. So to sell Miami Takeover to the homies, to get on the plane. That's money.
Yeah.
Plane, hotel, travel. How did that whole process work out? When you did one, I know it wasn't, the first one ain't always that good.
Mm-hmm.
So you do 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
But after the second, the third one, you say, hey, this a hit. We gotta keep it moving.
The advice I give to anybody, when you're doing something, track your data.
Yeah.
And you see where you messed up, and then you start saying, hey, what was my causal factors to be able to not do what I wanted to do? What did I do wrong, or what can I do better? So over the years, like I said, we found out that going to get the venue ourselves, not partnering up with nobody, eliminates confusion. Mm-hmm. Because the first year, I almost lost the takeover.
So that last part, not partnering with nobody. More cooks in the kitchen, shit get burnt.
Because what happens is a lot of things that out of your control that you ain't even know about. And I give y'all an example. My first couple of years, I had did the fours with my partner, and he had bed, he had the fours, and then him and Mike Gardner started doing live. So they like, hey, bring the crowd over to live. It just started. So I didn't even have to put it in my package, but I did. And when I did, they had been going slow. We had 300 or 400 people out in the lobby. Owner of Live, they came downstairs and said, no, we got to charge at 12 o'clock. My people have been in since 10. I told them they get in free till 11. They didn't open the door to 12:05, and they were trying to charge everybody. But that's what I learned after I almost had a heart attack. Because you got 400 people talking about these armbands ain't working. Why they got on me? And I ain't had to, this was, the weekend was over. So it's like, man, I can't do this no more. My mother told me.
I'm gonna give you another example. Yeah, this is a great example. I'm gonna give you another example out of your point. Me and Deuce Juan were never rooming together. We talked about it.
Well, you said it. You wouldn't have said, my first Miami takeover, me and Deuce Juan were roommates.
But Wylie K. people put us in the room.
I don't give a shit.
Wylie K. He ain't had nothing to do. We ain't seen Wylie K. when we got there. Took us 2 days to meet with Wylie K.
You was excited on Wylie K. You was excited.
And we was we at Club Bed that year?
I think you was, yeah.
The Club Bed?
Yeah. And I think that's the year you had crossover, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first couple of years I had calls, but we was at Club Bed. We had the pool party too, right?
Yeah,
the Catalina.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we had the
white party Friday night.
So when we had crossover, was crossover at the Royal Palms? Was it in the hotel?
Crossover was in the hotel. I don't know if it was Roy Palm. I don't know what hotel. That's who man. He was at Lowe's.
It was Royal Palms right next door.
Okay. So
that's how we do it on the set.
Through your years of doing the DMV takeover, how did the talent of booking go?
The DMV, come on, man.
You know they the DMV.
Ain't no DMV takeover.
Never been to DMV.
Miami takeover.
I mean, Miami takeover.
So you say over the years what?
How's the talent of booking been? How's your process of booking the talent?
I don't know what I gave that for.
Your process of booking the talent, like how do you go about booking the bands?
Well, basically, I know everybody. I mean, we all been in the business long enough. I called it all the managers.
No, the reason I'm asking you, you're not seeing on LS bands no more. So how does that work?
Well, normally I go through all the managers, and
no, I'm saying what's your process of picking the bands? Because I know a lot of bands felt left out over the years.
So the way we looked at it is we kind of take a survey and kind of feel what the people want. Every year after the trip, we send everybody who went on the trip a survey. And they say, hey, we want this, we want that, kind of what the people want. But I also look at where they are in the city because you might have a hot album this year, it might not be hot in 2 years. Mm-hmm. So every year, something's changing. You know what I mean? It kind of is a rotating door. But it also, you look at who do you think will be able to get you travelers? Because at the end of the day, this trip is about travelers. So, yeah, you can have 500 people at your show here every week, but are they going to travel? That's a real big piece to the game because trying to figure out that layer and figuring it out, it's been tough. But what I will say is the brand helps push. It's like all these different layers pushing each other. So it's not just the Miami takeover. It's not just the band. It's not just the promoter. It's a whole bunch of things that have to work for it to work. And it's no different than being home. You can have the same bands at a party 4 weeks apart. One party knock it out of the park, and one party flop. Same thing. You know what I mean? It's about location.
So now, I'm gonna ask you, after about a decade of going strong with the Miami takeover, other promoters and other bands started to invade your weekend on that, or invade the Miami takeover on the same weekend that had nothing to do with you. How did you feel with that?
At first, I was pissed. At first, I wanted to do John Gotti and say no more. But my team, and I tell anybody this, my team said no. They said no. And I said, why? I said, y'all see they messing us up. They said, no, figure out how to utilize what they know. And that's what we've been successfully able to do. So when them folks came down, guess who got credit for the 20,000 plane ticket? We did. And I think everybody came down for all them years, because now, like I said, this year, when I went to 700 City, Miami 2 weeks ago, guess what they said? They said, we need to give you a proclamation. They said, you haven't got one from us. And you've been coming here. I've been talking to them for the last 3-4 years.
They're bringing money to their sound for a long time.
Yeah, but they recognize that. And all I could do, like say for instance, I'm going to tell you another story. Say for instance, the year that we had the convention center, I had Familiar Face on one side, Backyard was on the other. That year, I had got the convention center. It was really hard for me to get the convention center. I got it. Later on, when we started playing the trip, we found out that Backyard was on the backside. I was like, damn, how they get it? Okay, not a problem. They got it. We have our event. I went through the whole procedure. I had the police, I had EMS, I had everyone. The crowd for the Backyard was a little bit more than what they anticipated. They wanted to shut it down. Guess what I did? I sent all my police, I sent them over there. I said, don't shut them down. But people will tell you that Wylie been hating on me and my event, never not one time. And never not one time that and one thing is too, I don't do things, I do a lot of unmeasured things that I never asked for nothing. Because at the end of the day, when I did it off of, this is my city. So if something go wrong over there, it's still me, no matter which way you look at it. And I don't care that you didn't pay for this, the police to do the job. Yeah. They did it, and they went over there and took care of everything. Everything went good, but at the end of the day, that's what was able to allow the Miami takeover to continue. Because at the end of the day,
because if they fuck it up,
yeah,
they blame
me. So it's under my watch. They know that I'm in town. They know I'm from DC. So if anything happens, they looking at IDs. We just arrested 5 guys from DC. IDs. That's takeover. That ain't DC takeover. That's Miami takeover. I do it for the other folks. I do it for not only the go-go, but I do it for the people that's of color that can go to South Beach and experience stuff at a high level without them turning their nose up at you. You know how hard it is to get the Lowe's, the SLS, the gas report, every hotel on Ocean Drive that I did every one.
And what's the name of that thing? The white club where you do the white party?
Nikki Beach.
Yeah. Nikki Beach.
Yeah, Nikki Beach.
Me and wifey walked in that joint. We like, what the fuck?
Nick.
Cabanas everywhere. Man. Like Big Raw had this little JY in there, turn that thing out. I said, man,
we in Big Rock Cabana drinking all them drinks up there and kick them out.
That was
Yep.
that's a tough sale line for that line.
Did you do that? No. What are you talking about?
I don't know if he did. I'm just fucking with you.
He know he ain't going.
Yeah, last time I was there, it was the free one-way movie. Because that's the last time I seen one-way movie. It was about 2008. It was 2018.
Had to be the Miami takeover.
Yeah, it was a Miami takeover.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it might have been an event there because it had to be an event. So I went to a spot where it was gazebos and everything. The pool party, big pool, gazebo. That was you?
That was me.
Okay.
That was me.
You know what I told you?
That was me. The nighttime joint?
Yeah.
Like take for example stuff like that.
Tiki, even in still and drink.
Miami don't allow you to do nighttime pool party. You know what I mean? So to be able to go and do a glow pool party and all that.
For the record, I want to say nothing. One way Cool invited me to his joint. Big Rob invited me to his joint.
Big Rob told me about that.
Keep inviting me straight.
They all down there with us.
Yeah, he was. He wasn't. He wasn't. Everybody guessed. Put in there. Like he was bought bottle. He was like this. Like he had the black off. Got a bottle. Get somebody else bottles. He didn't pay attention. He didn't pay. This is in the crowd. He pouring in 8 cups. Driving a boat with him on the way moving. Big Ross in there, but it's from the get to it. But to give the city somewhere to go every year. I know they look forward. The Goodman League.
Miami take a bit.
That Miami.
And I've been in the Goodman for 20 years.
Penny
There are a lot of teams I think about saying.
They look forward to.
After this weekend.
They look forward to what's Penny Graham joining at the stadium.
Summer breeze.
Summer breeze is, that's keeping the city on fire. Like I said, to take the shit out of town every year like that.
So these summers I've been wanting to get the Goodman.
People were trying to get me to do tournaments in other cities, and I was like, nah, I ain't touching that shit.
He been tripping for years. Often around the Miami takeover, we gotta go to the doctor or something. He been tripping for years.
Tournament in Miami that ain't got no, ain't gonna suffer no loss.
Right.
Hey, no, you take it to Miami, man, you can do what? Nah. I'm gonna keep my shit right here. I'm gonna keep my shit right here, cause I do my shit like you say, by myself. I'll take my wins and my losses by myself. And if your product is good, the people gonna come. That's why they go to Miami takeover. They can go to Miami any fucking day of the week. If they want to go to Miami and just be at the beach.
Yeah.
But they go to Miami takeover for 16 years because of the way you put it on.
I definitely appreciate it.
Yeah, the way you put it down. There ain't no ifs, ands, buts about it. And like I said, you read your critics, and then they fuck them. But they go.
Right.
Some of them go just to hope you fail.
Yeah.
But thank you for your contribution.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how this town is.
I want to talk about your philanthropy in the city too, man. Wiley.
How long you practice that word?
Philanthropy?
Before you got it.
Oh, let's give it back.
I just asked you how long did you
I didn't have to practice that word.
Did you not practice that before?
I've never practiced that word.
So you knew it. Say it fast.
Philanthropist. Philanthropy. No, actually, we want to talk about, like, we were out at the Goodman when I know you had partnered up with Sky Zone, and you had brought, the giveaway for the kids and all that. What made y'all come up with that idea for that? Because, Sky Zone is a place where kids go. They got the jump around and all that. Trampolines, like big trampolines, like a big trampoline building. It's real nice. And you partnered up with one of the owners out there and gave back to the community, man. So what made y'all come up with that idea?
Maybe what the bounce beat did.
Well, like I was telling y'all, it's easy and simple. Like, take for example, the Sky Zone in Waldorf and the Sky Zone in Boyd, anybody that patronized those spots, we thank you for that as well. And always looking to give back. But one thing that I told the management of Sky Zone, we used to have the meetings on how do we get outside of our immediate area? And I said we have to take part in things that have good name recognition, good branding, and really care, and the people know that they genuine. And you can't partner up with things and people that ain't genuine because you get tarnished. And I know Miles for years, seeing what he do, seeing how successful the events have been, it was just definitely a smart move, you know what I mean? And take for instance, Miles is definitely a great brand ambassador himself, you know what I mean? This him being on the mic, talking about certain things, you know what I mean? And seeing it on the gate, and when I told the management, showed him, he was like, wow, for real, you got it that quick? I'm like, yeah, my man wasn't playing. So things like that, and being able to show, like take for instance, from partnering up with the Goodman League, we were able to see people coming in. You know what I mean? A couple boys and girls clubs came. They got the bus to come out the Waldorf. But those are things, when they get to see things and they get to see it up, okay, then they know miles, they know that, let me go patronize. And that's what happened.
Yeah, that
Good
was,
job.
that was great because you sure called me. You was like, hey, man, the Sky Zone, we want to do giveaways and the discounts, but take shit. I even took my grandkids out Sky Zone on that
Great place,
discount.
man. You partnered up with a good company.
And folks was calling, hey, can we get this? Hey, this is how you do it, blah, blah, blah. So that was definitely great and doing that. Yeah, so and that's what it's all about, man. You can't just be a taker. You can't just be a taker. You
Talk
got
about some of your city
Yeah,
events.
yeah.
You partner up with Vibe, and now you partner up with Top 5. How did all that come
Well, I like telling the story.
because you
But-
stay busy after line takeover. You do parties all
about?
fun.
Yeah, you get the Dallas game.
Yeah, you do year round.
Like I said, I try
And you
to
got
pick
to.
my spots. You know what I mean? Because it's tiresome. I mean, doing these events, especially like weeklies and stuff like that, it's tiresome. But you know, I was sitting at home one day watching live stream and Top 5, and this is during a pandemic, and I'm watching the live stream. And I'm like, man, this boy hot. Good God Almighty. And I texted, y'all, Cooper tell you the story. I put on the screen, get Coop on the line. Right? And Coop showed Hank, it was like, man, why they hitting us up?
And
So he called me up, and we sat down, and we sat down right before Miami takeover 2 years ago. And I said to them, I said, man, I like what y'all got going on. I want to be a part. I said, but I'm the type of person where I don't want to talk about it. I said, I'm not going to talk no more. You and Coop come in Miami. And then from there, I brought them down, and they get to see behind the scenes where my head was going. And from there, we just been clicking ever since. You know what I mean? Like you say, the incline has been serious for the last year and a half now. You see Ant all over the place, you know what I mean? And it's really a good thing to see him come into his own. You know what I mean? Not being a quote-unquote
definitely.
go-go band.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In a go-go city, it's very hard. But like I said before, you get with the right people and everybody's genuine, you do nothing but go forward. You know what I mean? And that's what we're doing now. You just had Bethesda Blues last night. His birthday
Say
was
y'all
right
tore it up,
back.
man. Say
It
top
was
5.
a good look, you know what I
Say
mean?
top
Like, and a lot of
5
people
did
never heard
their
of it.
thing.
Like, hey,
And Farm and top 5, baby.
The best Miami takeover.
My goodness.
what's the best Miami takeover?
Oh, no, for what?
What? Where we going, Jalen
We
Bronson?
pay attention over here, Boy K. You can talk in circles if you want, but I asked you first question about Vibe. How that come about and why did they get it? There's no whole bars in here.
Oh, what was the question?
That's my
He
Vibe.
said he asked you about Vibe first.
Oh, wait a minute.
He said, don't duck the Vibe question.
What's the vibe question? What's the vibe question?
He said,
How that come about? And why did it end?
Let me see how that came about. That came about with Vibe had been asking for a few years for me to partner up with him and to come down. And I think I had familiar faces that year. I had familiar faces, Let It Flow, Vibe, Big John, and I think what's her name? Female name. MC Light. MC Light. And I'm gonna tell you how it worked. So I had those bands, and I had never really had Vibe on my radar like that, right? And so when I got them, we had the show. The show was going up. The stage is set up for 3 mics. It's only Derek on the stage. So I go up to the stage. You look at the camera. You can look at the camera. Look at the footage back in the day. I go up on the stage and say, "Damn, where the rest of the people at?"
You didn't have a female singer at that time?
Well, he started that way though. I started with Vibe. He started that way.
By herself?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was, but he had told me it was more people. So we had mics set up. I had to go on the stage, take the mics down. But as I'm taking the mic down, I said, "Man, where the rest of the people at?" Derek said, "Man, I got this." And when I say he rocked the joint and killed it, from that point on, man, it was rocking. You know what I mean? I was like, man, it was just you, man. You a bad boy, man. He's a bad boy. He said, "Man, I don't need all that." I said, "I got it, it's okay." Because Familiar was coming up next, and he was like, "Man, when I say they killed it, salute the Derek for that one." That stamped me and him. All it takes is one time, and then I'm loaded.
So did you take a better, like in the top 5 and left them alone, or how that works?
Sometimes you gotta move on.
No. It was more so. Let me tell you what happened. It was more so. We were doing Friday at Hard Rock. And
I went there.
Derek felt that he was playing too much.
That was great.
He said he felt he was playing too much. So he was like, man, I wanna lay low. I wanna, do a little less. I said, all right, cool. And from that point on, that's when I started doing. I shipped it over to and top 5. I was kind of messing with both of them at the same time. But after that, Hard Rock, where he kind of slowed down, I said, you know what? I'm start focusing on top 5.
And then you just picked up TOB.
Hmm?
How'd that come about?
You gotta speak up, man.
You just picked up TOB. How'd that come about?
TOB, what about it?
You just picked them up. They was at Hard Rock just, 2 weeks ago. TOB experience.
I've been shopping them too. And actually, TOB is who I'm probably taking this year. And the reason, let me tell you about TOB.
That's good though, because
Let me tell you,
everybody needs a chance, man.
but not only that.
Shout out to TOB Chris, multi-time.
You look at the complete body of work.
Yeah.
That whole team understands business. Chris, Rod, and that crew, they understand business, and that's one thing that attracts me to TOB. I tell anybody all day long, the business gets the deals done. And when you look at a band and you saying, hey, they sound good, but the business part ain't right, that irritates, man.
TOB, Chris been trying to, we and Gears play together. And he keep telling me, he told me last year, he's like, man, I want to bless them gates, man. That'll be a great honor to come down there and bless them gates.
Yeah.
And he said, it ain't even really about the money, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
So opening day, the gates got TOB.
That's what's up.
The gates for
That's what's up. That's what's up.
and then that's for everybody. Cause he's like, no, we can do Miles Ross. I said, no, opening day, more people than Miles Ross. So y'all do opening day,
Mm-hmm.
and that'll get you out there a little further. I mean, cause he hungry, so I'm waiting to hear.
Let's talk about moving the date, because people are furious about the date.
Not people,
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody ain't for it. It's you.
No, it's other people.
But see, what happens, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about that. Most people are always infuriated by change.
You done went from
July.
July to September.
Yeah.
That's a big concern. It is.
Let me explain. Most people are always infuriated by change.
True.
Until they actually jump into the change and say, oh, it ain't that bad. So what happens is, we move the date because there's so many different things and layers to this. And like I told you all from the beginning, I went to FAMU. And going to FAMU, Jackson State and FAMU have that game Labor Day weekend. So now I can do two things. I can help my alma mater by bringing more people.
Cut the bullshit. It's dollars.
No.
In Jackson State.
But I'm helping my alma mater.
No. It's deeper than that. These are that. To my research,
Somebody he did research.
all the black events are done.
All of what?
All the black events. So it's no more long to one a weekend. No, and I'm saying they still doing it. But I'm saying
You gotta make a business decision.
it's a month out.
He's a businessman.
So he can separate himself now.
Businessman.
So he said the Black Film Festival ain't there in July no more?
No, I'm saying that. I'm saying he separated himself. But I'm saying they done it.
It makes dollars, it makes sense.
I might go
They done in July.
but this year, this is going to be Labor Day.
I got you.
So now you got a whole month to be clean.
But listen,
Join in or join out?
he said people are infuriated, but I really feel like once they see what happened, and this was not going to change. It's still going to be warm. The hotel's still going to be the same. Ain't too much going to be different.
No, it's gonna be dirty. Here's why. A lot of people that visit Mind Takeover are mothers. School started back the week before.
He worried about the small shit.
I'm just saying.
He ain't here.
Right.
He right here.
I'm just saying, cutting back your mothers.
Okay, the mothers, God bless you, mothers. Get your kids back in school.
Hey, but this is what I'm going to say.
Let's see how this
All I'm saying is, those same folks that might be infuriated, right? They're the same folks that say, they want something new. So I'm going to give them that. We're gonna get something new. We're gonna get some new diversity.
How you feel about this though? Because I've seen this online too. I know how true this is, but I've seen, because you push your date back, now the other people that was doing parties with you are pushing their date back to that day.
You mean with him, meaning that they was coming down and copy? I mean, not copy.
Yeah,
You didn't hear that.
he made Miami Takeover an event. So now if you're a band and throw your own party, you come down that weekend because you know people gonna be there. You can get some extra people.
Let me explain something.
So now the extra people has pushed their date back to
Let me explain
September
something.
3rd.
Still copycat.
Let me explain something to you.
I've seen it online.
If people, Miami Takeover is its own entity.
Business own entity.
Period.
Right.
Period.
I don't give a damn what Tom, Dick, and Mary doing. Miami Takeover gonna draw their people regardless.
So I'm saying, but this band's not. So they're gonna coattail off of that.
Right.
Hey.
And you know, a lot of times, like I told you before, and I say it again, it has been done, but it's tough to do. You see what I'm saying? I mean, if that was the case, then you would have had the 5th annual, you would have had the 2nd annual,
Right.
you would have had the 3rd annual, and you don't have none of that.
After that.
You don't have none of that.
Before we wrap up, your best Miami Takeover.
And your worst.
Okay. Let me go with the worst. The worst one was the story I told you about Liv, where I had to kind of rebound. I had a lot of people upset with me. I had to do PR. I had to explain all that. So that was really bad. When I couldn't get the people to Liv, that could have crushed me, right? The best year, I go out there and say it was 3 years ago with Backout. You know, everybody already know Backout is another monster. We had been battling them for years. You know, they would come down at the same time, not with us. I finally was able to get the deal where they were with us. And it was an amazing weekend, amazing event. You know, the party did a crazy number. And I think the people enjoyed it because they got that stamp of the total experience and not us tug of war each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And to your point, if you do that shit to them, you the bad guy.
Yeah. I'm hating.
Yeah.
I'm hating.
But that's the.
But that's why I also wanted to clear it up because a lot of word on the street is that I've tried to stop people from coming down. Let me say this for the record. If I wanted to stop, you would know. It wouldn't be no question. Because guess what? You would see it. But I've never done that. And you know, that's where I want to clear that up for the record, for the podcast, that I never shut nothing down. Because if I wanted to, it would be. It's not hard to do.